I was wondering, we just had our last pickup of 9 puppies.
I know. It's been a weekend.
And sometimes people feel, oh, I get the last pick, you know. Well, this puppy that just left, the family's like, oh my God, this amazing temperament. I cannot believe this. Now, the whole litter seemed to be this way. I mean, they were excellent in every aspect, what every family is looking for.
Yeah.
How did you go about getting puppies breeding the way you do to get that out of a litter?
Well, it's not easy. Let's put it that way. It's taken years, basically. I don't know if I told you the story when I started back in the 70s. You know, the first dogs that I imported from Germany were kind of trashy. Let's put it that way, because people didn't know me and didn't know who I was, and they would send dogs that weren't exactly what I was expecting, you know, basically. But as years went by and I started, learning much more on everything and breeding with my mentor who helped me to breed, he always told me, Ceci, conformation is important. Definitely it is. And health is number one. So hips, elbows, now the DM, you know, which we didn't have that time.
Right.
And temperament. Temperament, it's a must, Ceci. You know, it's a must. You have to put that in your breeding program once you start on yourself, you know?
But how did you find these dogs?
Well, I started going to Germany. I can say a lot. I really appreciate Kirchenthal Kennels. Marion Fuller, who really helped me, and she sent me some lovely dogs with wonderful temperaments. From there on, I started going over. I started meeting people and knowing, you know, what's all about and what's the breeding program behind many of them.
Okay.
And going to the Seeger show and being able to see the dogs that they're selecting, let's say it that way, we have an opportunity to go and see the progeny. So usually I can see what they're producing.
Okay.
And I have maintained a certain bloodline
Okay.
throughout all these 50 years that it's incredible. But for the last 10 years, it's been the dogs that they have been winning, you know? It's the Omen line, the Willie Cuckoo's Clan line, but if I go back behind all of that, those were the lines that I started with, that I know where the temperament comes from, you see? So it's something that you have to study. A lot of people say, oh, my dog came from Germany. Oh, I import my dog from Germany. Have you been there? Do they know who they're sending dogs to? Because I've been in Germany years ago, and I know when they say, oh, this one goes to the States. And I look at it and said, why are you sending that one? It's someone that doesn't care too much about, or doesn't show his dogs, or don't do anything. And people think that, many people, and breeders sometimes, not all, but some, that to tell the client, oh, my dogs are imported from Germany.
Yes, people that get dogs like that,
Yeah.
they're imported. They're like, oh, mine's the best because the dog was imported. Not the case.
It's not the case, basically. You have to be known, you have to know what you're getting, you have to know your lines, you have to know what they produce. I don't mean that I am God and that I know everything. I don't have a magic wand, you know. This is like the dysplasia, you know, you know that there was no way to know about dysplasia until the 70s to the 80s. Every single dog bred before that, you never knew if they were full of dysplasia or not, because there was no way to prove
There
it.
was no X-rays then.
There was no X-rays then. So you know, it's a risk. It was a risk for those breeders those times,
Right.
and there was no knowledge on knowing how angles affect performance either. You see, a lot of people talk about the flat top lines, but they don't.
I want a straight back dog.
Yeah, and they don't understand that that's not the reality of things. You see, there's angles. There's a lot of different aspects on a dog's body that makes him create a good performance, you know, have a good movement, a sound movement that is not going to hurt the rest of the body. And you have to learn all about this and see what dog produces what. That's maybe anatomy, but temperament, as we were talking, you know, you have to know your base. You have to know what lines bring that temperament. And I think that throughout all of this almost 50 years, we have done quite well. I mean, what everybody said, about the temperament, and I hear them on the phone, and I say, yes, I want a dog for this and this and that. I say, yes. And I laugh on my side because I said they all want the same thing that
Exactly.
I know what they want.
Exactly. Now, like when you had us, when we whelp, like when I whelp a litter, this is why we watch them as they grow. And most of the time, they're all pretty much the same. Once in a while, we'll have one that's a little bit more high drive. Yeah, they want to go and work, more so. But for the most part, every single one of these dogs that are bred here come out to be exactly what all of our clients are looking for.
Definitely.
Family dogs.
Definitely. And if they want to convert them into protection dogs, they have the ability
or
to
even show. If they want to show,
yes.
we can convert them as that as well.
Yes.
I mean, they're just amazing. I mean, so you've done fantastic.
And I really appreciate your help because you've really been a great support for Southern Wind.
I love you. You know that.